And a woman shot and killed mid-morning at a storage facility, and police say it appears to have been an act of vengeance. Investigators say the victim was followed to the lot off the East Tex Freeway near the North Loop in November.
33-year-old Sheri Dawson gunned down at this storage unit along the East Tex Freeway November 5th. And now, months later, police have charged a Detroit man with murder.
Today we're going to be in Houston, Texas and Detroit, Michigan, speaking about one man's alleged greed that will lead to a disturbing crime at a storage facility in Houston. What was supposed to be a $125,000 illegal substance exchange with a big mover and shaker from Detroit would turn out to be a huge setup when that man would link with a middleman in Houston who would take his money and run. That alleged middleman, whose name was Matthew Jasso, allegedly told his supplier, who we will call John Doe, that 57-year-old Kip Stites from Detroit planned on robbing John Doe and not paying for the supply of the white powder. However, it looks as though Matthew never had any intentions of giving Kip his product and may have fabricated a lie so he could get the supplier to flip on Kip and take his money. However, that is what Matthew alleges has taken place, but for anyone who knows Kip knows that he would not set anyone up because he was already making too much money with multiple businesses in Detroit, and he had a reputation to uphold. Tragically, the middleman in this plot would sell not only his soul for a $10,000 cut of that $125,000, but he allegedly put his own wife in the line of fire when Kip allegedly flew from Detroit to Houston looking for revenge behind what was stolen from him. 33-year-old Sheri Dawson was born on March 20th, 1992 in Houston, Texas, into a military family. The talented mother of 5 enjoyed cooking and catering and was the go-to person if you were looking for a great dish. She also loved music and dance, which gave her life, and she knew how to get the party started, so she was often called DJ Sheri D. Her main focus in life, though, was her 5 amazing children, and she shared a special bond with all of them. Her firstborn, her daughter, who she called her twin, was the sunshine of her soul. She was Sheri's glamorous girl and her beauty expert. Her first boy was her joy and protector. And her second son was said to be pure bliss for her, and she danced that whole pregnancy. And with that, it brought her so much happiness to watch him dance through life with the same ambition as her. Then her miracle baby, her baby boy, was her popcorn buddy, snuggle monster, and personal comedian who kept her with a smile on her face. Her last child and second daughter was her little sassy diva, and Sheri would be the only person that could make her smile, and her little girl taught her softness. Sheri enjoyed her kids immensely, and being a mother more than anything. Before things for her family changed forever in November of 2025, she was in a long-term relationship with her youngest kid's dad, Matthew Jasso. If you remember, Matthew was the middleman in the plot to take thousands from a well-known Detroit businessman. This same plot would end up costing Sheri her life. Before the crime that took Sheri's life took place, Kip Stites was living the American dream. Not only did he run multiple successful businesses, but he also published several books, including The Perfect Storm and Double the Trouble, which details his life experiences, struggles with poverty, and his rise in the real estate industry. Anything he put his mind to, Kip did it, and he did it in a big way. He was also the visionary behind the successful dramatic stage play, Scattered Hearts, that debuted in the Detroit Music Hall in March of 2017. This is how Kip would describe his book, The Perfect Storm, which gives some facts about his life. And I quote, "Kip Stites is one in a million. Mr. Stites parlayed his street hustle into a multi-million-dollar legitimate real estate empire. Everything was going great with Mr. Stites up until his trusted partner decided to use her position to manipulate bank accounts. Mr. Stites' trusted heart led his partner to steal over $6 million, and Mr. Stites' partner managed to secretly switch company records to another business location within the mostly white and conservative Oakland County Business District. However, the cards came back twice as stacked against the 2-time felon Mr. Stites. This made it virtually impossible to regain restitution from the Oakland County court system. After a 10-year dark period, Kip rose from the ashes to tell his story. Now this woman, who is also a serial entrepreneur, had this to say some years back about Kip's accusations.
Yeah, why they, running around here? I know Big Mike, Kip Stites helped Jessica Powell Wiggins. That's the one in my book. Help Jasmine. They got with the enemy to get on. But they still use my connect to get on. Let them know I already know. I'm 10 steps ahead of them. That's why I put 70K plus in my actual marketing campaign. But guess what? I'm glad they did that. because they let me know their true colors. So they want to go to social media and they want to, post up and, be real messy. I can get real messy with them. I know people say, you know what, don't stoop to their level. Sometimes you got to stoop to a level to let them know, baby, it's going down. I'm still going to get money with or without you. You forgot, baby. You used to borrow money from me. I showed y'all the game. So take that little game and do something with it, because that's all the game y'all ever going to get from me.
Not only did she do time behind bars and still rise back to the top bigger and better, it appears Kip did the same. It kind of makes you think about Tonisha Welch, a major player in the game from BMF back in the day, who also did her time and is now making money the legit way. Now, Kip also did time behind bars and is a multi-time felon with a criminal history that includes conviction of illegal substance offenses, armed with a dangerous weapon, and aggravated harm. Even with a dark past, it looks as though he did everything in his power to turn his money legal. One thing he was known for was helping the Detroit community, especially the kids for back to school. He not only gave book bags and supplies and did other things, but he also gave money to the kids too. And he looked to be the person that anyone could depend on if they needed anything.
The younger youth is the ones who's going to represent us when we get older. So I would try to put different events together, such as this one itself, to give the kids a little motivation, a little inspiration. Some parents cannot afford the children to get book bags and send them to school with decent stuff. So I take the time to take my personal cash to spend on the kids to make sure they got what they need to go back to school.
Kip was known for being a person that said anything he did was never about the money, but it appears that after being swindled out of thousands, it quickly became about the money. Life as Kip knew it would change forever in November of 2025 and cause him to go on the run for the past 2 months. The situation that day can only be described as heart-wrenching and disturbing, yet serves as a poignant reminder of the importance of making the right choices. Houston police will receive a call to come to a storage unit on Essex Freeway around 10:15 a.m. on November 5th. 33-year-old Sheri Dawson was found on the ground with multiple gunshot wounds and pronounced unalive at the scene. According to Matthew, his wife went to the storage unit to pick up some things, and when she didn't return in a timely manner, that's when he went up to the storage facility, and that's where he found her. He also would tell authorities that same day about what took place about a month prior, explaining that he and John Doe set up Kip and stole his money. Matthew also told the police he believed that is why his wife lost her life, and he also said that Kip would fly back and forth from Houston to Detroit. What I find quite strange is that she went to a storage unit and then ended up losing her life, and he just happened to come up there because he was concerned. It looks as though maybe Kip thought it was going to be Matthew there, but decided to go ahead with his plan and do what he came to do, sadly.
Police recently identified a suspect, and they say this all involves a botched six-figure drug deal the victim's husband also admitted to being part of.
Yeah, of course, we know that now, but back up to 2 months ago when she was first gunned down, it all seemed so random at the time. A lot of folks wondering who would do this and why. Well, now we're learning police knew almost right from the get-go. A story of friendship, business dealings, and double dealing outlined in court documents that all culminated in a North Houston woman's death. Police have charged a Detroit man, Kip Stites, with murder. Stites, police say, a friend and business associate of Dawson's common-law husband. The same day as Dawson's murder, police say her husband came forward and told them about Stites. According to court documents, he said he introduced Stites to a cocaine supplier, and when Stites told him he was planning to rob the supplier, the husband of the supplier hatched a plan to steal from Stites. Police say the husband told them about a month before the murder, Stites paid him $125,000 for a shipment of coke, which he and the supplier never delivered.
My question is, did Matthew say that he would meet Kip up there, but send his wife instead, making like he needed something out of the storage? Who, by the way, was said to have no information about what had taken place and was unaware of what Matthew was into. If he knew that someone with a lot of money and power was looking for him, why wouldn't he warn his family? Why wouldn't he take his family and get away? Well, one of Sheri's sisters will give more insight on what she believed happened and who Matthew really is, allegedly. She stated that Matthew has been running and hiding for years, doing dirt, and he literally sent her up there to get unalive so he can have some money. Also, I want to state, as of right now, Matthew is nowhere to be found, allegedly. Sheri's sister also will go on to say, and I quote, The baby's father that set my sister up has never had taxable income, numerous outside babies, and would rather set his common law wife up than work 2 jobs to take care of himself, his kids, and to get him that watch that he has on his arm now. He didn't and hasn't ever had his own vehicle up until he took the money from the shooter. 4 years of friendship with Kip meant more to him than Sheri Dawson. All of his family is okay with it because 99% of them don't like black people and they just want to cosplay as us. He was jealous of Sheri Dawson real bad. If anyone knows any information on Kip, please contact your local police. Both these men need to be in custody. They are hazardous to the community. We don't want or need any more mindless unalivings due to the evil love of money. In another post, she will also say, I'm not stopping about her, and anyone capable of putting this type of situation in motion is capable of anything. He never loved her and didn't do anything for her funeral. He didn't do anything while she was here. I only seen him treat her bad. If he hadn't, we wouldn't be here now. He wouldn't have unfriended all of her family and friends after the funeral, where he fake cried through the whole thing. You would have took a bath and put a collared shirt on if you loved her. They didn't even dress her kids for the funeral. I got everybody together, and he only had to get his boys ready and wouldn't do that. Wouldn't and didn't even bring the kids to their mother's own repast. That's hatred at its finest.
According to charging documents, the husband told investigators about 2 weeks before the murder he got word that Stites was looking for him and that he believes his wife was killed because he stole money from Stites. Police say surveillance video shows the victim pulling into this storage lot the morning of November 5th. She's followed through the gate by a truck police say Stites was driving. Officers note for a whole 2 minutes, both vehicles engage in stopping, reversing, and turning around. A minute later, the victim falls to the ground. The suspect walks over to her, and a fight ensues. The victim gets up, but then falls down again, and the suspect takes off in his truck. Police pulled over a different vehicle registered to Stites later that day, but Stites wasn't in the car. Investigators say his phone began pinging in Detroit the next day, but 2 months later, he still hasn't been captured.
This horrific tragedy has tore Sheri's family apart in so many different ways. And to make things even more hurtful, Matthew's family is allegedly keeping the kids away from Sheri's family. This tragedy is disturbing on so many levels that people can get involved in something so terrible and decide to put someone else in the middle of it all to be sacrificed. Sheri's life mattered, and she should still be here to live and love and nurture on her children. She loved taking care of people around her, and she believed in doing good by others. She truly cherished life and loved all the small things in the world. Her life was cut way too short, and she had so much more life to live. And if you know anything about this case, if you know the whereabouts of any of these people involved, please say something. This family deserves justice, because if someone can do a mother or a woman that way that had nothing to do with nothing, they definitely are not safe to be in the streets. My thoughts and prayers go out to everyone involved in this very tragic and horrific, heartbreaking situation. Please don't forget to let me know your thoughts. Also, please don't forget to comment your prayers for this family in their difficult hour, and hit that like button and share to make your people aware. And as always, remember to stay woke. Things change quickly.